Welcome to the second lecture on evolution, life from the first organisms onward. Here we're going to look at the evolution of multicellular life. I'm Wendy Nofke and I'll be giving your presentation today. During the late Precambrian period, about 2 billion to 500 million years ago, we saw dramatic geological and climate changes. The continents drifted, changed the climate, and caused volcanic activity. Carbon dioxide levels rose and fell. The Earth warmed and cooled several times during this time period. Here we saw several adaptations that would occur with late Precambrian life. We had sexual reproduction, which allowed for the increased variety of offspring and increased the rate of evolution. Cells started to live in colonies and have specialized jobs. By 1 billion years ago, the first multicellular organisms evolved from these colonies, and they could no longer live independently. This allowed bigger and more efficient organisms to develop. At the end, we had the Precambrian extinction. This was a mass extinction where many or most of the species abruptly disappeared from the Earth. This occurred about 554 million years ago, where we had this mass extinction. During the Paleozoic era, this is the era of old life. This was between 554 and 245 million years ago, and it's divided into 6 periods. This started with a burst of new life in the Cambrian explosion, and it ended with one of the biggest mass extinctions, the Permian extinction. During the Cambrian period, this is 554 to 505 million years ago, we started to see the sponges evolve in the ocean. We had small ocean invertebrates, and the trilobites were abundant. The trilobites are just small ocean invertebrates. During the Ordovician period, 505 to 440 million years ago, the oceans filled with invertebrates. This is when fish evolved and we started to see the first land plants. During the Silurian period, which is 440 to 410 million years ago, we saw the first corals. The fish continued to evolve and we started to see vascular plants evolve on land. In the Devonian period, which is 410 to 360 million years ago, we saw the first seed plants. We began to see fish with lobed fins, and they could breathe air when they raised their heads above water. In the Carboniferous period, which was 360 to 290 million years ago, we started to see widespread forests that left carbon deposits that became coal. We also saw the first amphibians, and then the reptiles evolved from them. During the Permian period, which is 290 to 245 million years ago, we had major land masses collide to form Pangea, and also extreme temperatures, a dry climate, and the plant and animals had to adapt to the dryness. This ended in another mass extinction. There are many hypotheses for the extinction, including meteorites and volcanoes. The Mesozoic area, or the age of the dinosaurs, is the middle life. This was from 245 to 65 million years ago, and it's divided into 3 periods. Here we continue to have moving continents that change the climate. Pangea broke apart, and we ended up with a lot of volcanic activity. We had a mass extinction at the end of the Triassic and Cretaceous periods. During the Triassic period, this ranged from 245 to 200 million years ago, we saw the first dinosaurs. We had huge seed ferns and conifer forests. Modern corals evolved, fish, and insects. Pangea separated into 2 masses, Laurasia in the northern hemisphere and Gondwanaland in the southern hemisphere, and this ended in another mass extinction. During the Jurassic period, this ranged from 200 to 145 million years ago, the dinosaurs flourished. We had early birds that evolved from the reptiles, and major groups of mammals, flowering plants, more insects continued to evolve. We continued to have continental movement and volcanic activity. During the Cretaceous period, which ranged from 145 to 65 million years ago, was when we saw the dinosaurs peak. The continents were finally close to the present locations, although they are still moving. We had a warm climate, there was no ice even at the poles, and it ended with the extinction of the dinosaurs. This is thought to be possibly due to a comet or asteroids darkening the skies. The Cenozoic area is the age of mammals. It also means modern life. This ranges from 65 million years ago until today. And we have this broken down into different periods as well. During the Tertiary period, at 65 million years ago to 1.8 million years ago, the mammals, including the primates, evolved. We saw the modern rainforests and grasslands evolving, and more flowering plants and insects, and a warm, humid climate. During the Quaternary period, which is 1.8 million years ago to present, the climate cooled. We saw a series of ice ages. The sea level fell due to the glaciers, and land bridges allowed the animals to move. The animals could adapt to the cold or move towards the equator. Those who couldn't went extinct. The last ice age ended about 12,000 years ago, and by that time Homo sapiens had evolved.